Amara, a young female ranger, had devoted 2 years to the Kalahari Conservation Reserve in Botswana. Her passion for wildlife shone in every task, from tracking migrations to ensuring animal safety. Known for her quiet confidence and professional demeanor, she was a respected guardian across the reserve. Amara's deep love for animals was evident in her steady gaze and gentle touch, earning her a reputation as both compassionate and courageous. She frequently led international tours and meticulously monitored the health of the reserve's diverse species, from elusive leopards to vibrant bird life. That morning, Amara was tasked with guiding 5 Canadian visitors, all eager for their first encounter with African wildlife. Driving her sturdy green Land Rover through the sunlit savanna, she pointed out herds of graceful impalas, colorful lilac-breasted rollers flitting through the air, and a distant family of elephants moving majestically across the horizon. The tourists, cameras in hand, marveled at the untouched beauty, their excitement filling the air with lively chatter. In the heart of the grasslands, Amara parked the rover and invited the group to step out for a closer look at a troop of playful babuini. The tourists laughed as a cheeky babuin leapt onto the vehicle's hood, waving its arms with theatrical flair. The golden sunlight filtered through scattered acacia trees, casting a warm glow over the scene, creating a serene and joyful atmosphere. Amara spoke with fervor about the ecological role of babuini, explaining how they spread seeds and maintain the savanna's balance. The group hung on her words, recording her insights and asking thoughtful questions about the intricate web of life in the Kalahari. The peace was shattered by a piercing scream from behind the rover. A female tourist pointed frantically at 2 babuini standing over another, which lay motionless on the cracked, dry earth. Amara signaled for the vehicle to stop, her voice calm but firm, instructing everyone to stay quiet and keep their distance. She stepped out cautiously, her boots crunching on the brittle grass, and approached the injured babuin. Kneeling beside it, she observed deep bite marks on its body, blood seeping slowly from the wounds. The 2 babuini nearby watched her with anxious eyes, their postures tense yet hopeful. Amara deduced that a hyena attack had wounded the babuin, likely dragged to safety by its companions. The injured babuin, a female, was pregnant, her belly subtly rounded. Its eyes were closed but faint. Shallow breaths gave Amara hope. A tourist, his voice laced with optimism, asked if the babuin could be saved. After a brief pause, Amara nodded with resolve, her expression unwavering. She returned to the rover, retrieving a well-stocked first aid kit containing bandages, antiseptics, syringes, and clean cloths. The group watched in hushed awe from a safe distance as Amara worked. She gently cleaned the wounds with saline, her hands steady despite the gravity of the moment. Using a cotton swab soaked in antiseptic, she disinfected the injuries with care. The 2 babuini stood by, motionless, as if sensing her intent to help. Amara wrapped a white bandage around the babuin's chest to stop the bleeding, then administered a small dose of stimulant and antibiotics via syringe. The babuin remained still, its breathing weak but persistent, a sign it clung to life. A tourist whispered, "She's like a doctor for babuini, truly remarkable." Amara checked the babuin's pulse with a compact stethoscope, her focus unbroken. She carefully positioned the babuin on its side to ease its breathing, cradling its head gently with one hand. The 2 nearby babuini watched intently, their eyes locked on her, as if standing guard over their fallen companion. The air around the rover was thick with tension, the vast savanna eerily silent. After several agonizing minutes, the babuin stirred, its legs twitching faintly. Slowly, it opened its eyes, and the group exhaled in collective relief. Amara's lips curved into a subtle smile, her eyes glistening with quiet emotion. She offered water from a bottle, holding it close to the baboon's mouth. It took small sips, then glanced around, spotting its companions nearby. With effort, it crawled toward them, nuzzling one babuin's shoulder in a silent gesture of gratitude. As the group prepared to board the rover and resume the tour, a low, menacing growl echoed across the grasslands. A pack of hyenas appeared, their red eyes glinting in the sunlight, their eerie laugh slicing through the calm. Amara's voice, steady but commanding, urged everyone into the vehicle. She stood by the open door, arms outstretched, ensuring each tourist was safely inside. 3 hyenas advanced, circling within meters of her, their teeth bared. Amara stood firm, her composure a shield against their snarls and deliberate pacing. One hyena lunged but froze when Amara refused to flinch. The tourists shouted in panic, urging her to get back inside, but she held her ground, gripping the doorframe tightly, her eyes fixed on the predators. She knew that fleeing would spark chaos and danger. In that critical moment, a sharp cry rang out from behind. The 2 babuini had climbed onto the rover's roof, baring their teeth and growling defiantly at the hyenas. One slammed its hand against the metal, the sound reverberating like a drum across the savannah. The hyenas hesitated, startled by the unexpected challenge. Then from the nearby acacias, a troop of babuini erupted, shrieking and charging toward the hyenas with fearless momentum. Their sheer numbers overwhelmed the predators, who growled but began to retreat, slinking back into the tall grass. The babuini surrounded Amara, their protective stance unmistakable, as if claiming her as part of their troop. Tears welled in her eyes as she realized they were repaying her kindness. The tourists watched, awestruck, unable to believe the scene unfolding before them. As the last hyena vanished into the grass, the tension dissolved, and no one was harmed. Amara approached the babuin on the rover's roof, gently stroking its head. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice warm with gratitude. The other babuini scampered around the vehicle, their chatter almost celebratory, a testament to their triumph. It was a profound moment of unity between human and babuini, a bond forged in the wild heart of the Kalahari. Amara helped the group settle back into the rover, waving farewell to the babuini as they responded with lively calls before retreating into the forest. The injured babuin glanced back at her, limping but alive, following its troop into the shade of the acacias. The tourists buzzed with excitement, recounting every heart-pounding moment of their encounter with the babuini, their voices filled with wonder. As Amara drove back toward the reserve's base, a female tourist murmured, "She's the hero of the babuini today." The afternoon sun cast golden rays across the grasslands, painting the savannah in hues of amber and warmth. Amara occasionally glanced in the rearview mirror, tracing the path where the babuini had vanished. In her heart, she felt a deep connection to this wild place and its creatures, as if she'd gained a silent, untamed family. Dear friend, thank you for reading this tale of courage and connection with the babuini. Please like and subscribe to support more stories from the wild.